Yo guys, what is going on? It is Invin here. Today, what I'm bringing to you all is a video on my honest thoughts about the Arenas update, what they did well, what they didn't do so well, and I'm going to try and keep this nice and short and sweet. Got a few kind of impressions on the arenas themselves, as well as the expeditions and the new mutations that we've seen, as well as the depths obviously been added in with those ones to the mutated rotations, and then the quality of life stuff and things like that we've seen, as well as a bit of the future prediction stuff there as well. So starting it off firstly then with the arenas. The arenas themselves have been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed them. I've tried out multiple different builds and had a ton of fun in these, with plenty of wins, plenty of losses under my belt. I can safely say that this is a great feature that they have added to the game, and props to the team for that. What I do think they should add pretty swiftly to the arenas to make these more replayable and more fun is, of course, firstly, fixing the XP. We want to get more XP for playing the PvP game modes, not for running the quests. Of course, running the quests, keep the XP there for those, but just raise the XP from the game modes because that is more fun and quite frankly makes the most sense. Giving you the XP for playing the PvP game modes kind of seems like it would be logical, so I would really like to see that increased. Then I would also like to see the ability to spectate friends or company members when they are in PvP arenas, as well as maybe adding in the facility. We know we talked about private matches in yesterday's video, as well as 1v1s, 5v5s, matchmaking, all of that good stuff. I would love to see the ability to have inter-company, so your company can make it a 3v3 in a private match and set up things like that so that you could give out prizes. That would be awesome. But talking about kind of the casual player and most players in general, what would you like to see? More replayability. The idea, again, yesterday that the developers have confirmed is coming. The ability to solo queue or queue as a stack in different places so you can test your skills in the relative queue would be amazing. But I'd also really like to see leaderboards. I'd like to see maybe matchmaking in terms of putting one healer and two damage dealers together, something along those lines. Or just general matchmaking between the regions so that you can get into matches quicker. And that should also extend to, of course, expeditions, mutations, OPR, all of that good stuff. Now, what I would also really like to see from the arena specifically is some more cosmetic exclusive rewards or something along those lines. I really like the new titles, although I haven't managed to get some of the cooler ones yet because they're a little far out of reach for the time being, for the amount of time we've had this update. But this is a really cool thing. I would like to see some physical cosmetic stuff, whether it's for your house, whether it's for the player, whether it's for, you know, any type of other stuff in the game that just looks cool. That would be amazing. So I'd like to see that going forward. Maybe as a company, if you complete 10,000 matches, you would get a unique crest that you could put on as an emblem. Who knows? Something along those lines would be really, really fun. And the replayability factor, I'd love to see a ranked or rated mode. Obviously, there's still some stuff to clear up, but in an ideal world, once all of desync and bug fixes are done, we could see a ranked or rated arenas mode with different levels and different ratings or whatever, and that would add a lot of replayability to the game alongside the PvP reward track, which in my opinion would be a lot of fun and I think would keep people playing for a long time. Now, along the same kind of vein as this, the PvP reward track seems to have reignited a big passion for the PvP events in New World with a lot of players, a lot more open world PvP going on, a lot of fort fighting, a lot of PvP missions going on, which obviously we know Great Cleave is kind of the spot to be in. Lots of really cool stuff going on there, pretty much wherever you go, whether it's an elite zone at the moment for the double XP, or, you know, you're going somewhere around the map, there's going to be players that are flagged up for PvP, and I think that is an amazing feature. What I would like to see then going forward to kind of build from this is, you know, increased rewards, increased viability for this to keep leveling up, and like I said in the beginning section here, a little bit more addition to the PvP game modes to get that PvP track ranked up quicker through the actual PvP modes, so that players will continue to do that in the open world as well, because they're going to be getting those really, really good rewards the more that they play. Now, the next kind of big thing that they introduced with this patch was, of course, the mutation variants and the brand new depths map into the mutation rotation. This has been a lot of fun. Captain Thorpe is a tricksy guy, very tough to beat, but it has been a lot of fun re-engaging him at higher levels. Some of the drops in there are amazing, and overall it feels like a very well polished map, even on the mutations, which is fantastic. It has got me leaning towards wanting to see Starstone Barrows in there, and maybe even Amrine Temple if they kind of up the difficulty or length of it a little bit. But yeah, definitely Starstone Barrows would be really, really cool at level 60 mutated. And this has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this. The new variants I've tried out once or twice. they're pretty cool. They're very tough, but they are very, very cool. And I've enjoyed running through those and trying to learn that again. So mixing it up like that is a really, really cool thing. And I really hope that they continue to add these very regularly so that there's always a good concoction of things at the end game that you can't always be fully on top of, because I think that does add a level of skill to the game, or even just swapping it out. But I really, really hope that they add sets to the game soon so that you can put all of your armor sets for, say, for example, Corruption into one place, or, you know, Angry Earth all into one place, Void all into one place, so that you don't have to keep scrolling through and finding stuff, or at least inventory markers would be a short-term solution. That would be really cool. Just something where you can group items so that you know where you're at. So we can hope for that one. So New World, if you're watching that in the future, would be amazing. Now, other than that, they did add a lot of quality of life upgrades. They added a lot of bug fixes. They added a lot of kind of UI, UX, that sort of element type stuff, fixes and improvements, and generally the update has felt really, really smooth. Some places the combat has felt a little bit lacking and sluggy. To be honest, I think that's when there's been heavy load on the servers because there's a lot of players logging back in, but this has been worse than other patches, so hopefully this does get fixed and improved on by the Desync team, who we know are working on stuff, so hopefully that kind of gets taken out and it goes back up to where it was performance-wise. But other than that, it's actually been really good. Inside the expeditions, it's been great, performance has been up, and it's felt really, really fluid. I think that in the OPR situation and in the 3v3s mainly, it has felt really, really good, at least on my server, so I've been lucky there maybe, but I've really enjoyed that and it's felt a lot more connected. Wars, on the most part, have felt pretty decent this patch so far. I won't speak too soon, but they have felt pretty good, and invasions, again, pretty smooth. So overall, not too bad. Of course, let me know your guys' experiences with those things in the comments down below. Has it been the same? Has it been better? Has it been worse? But generally speaking, it seems to have improved the client and the whole game kind of lifestyle, quality of life, whatever you want to call it. All of that stuff seems to have been improved very, very nicely with this update, which I think was one of the big things they were going for alongside the content. So that is really, really good. Now, we know that there's no major content coming to New World in June, but we are potentially going to be seeing beefier weekly updates. So that being said, hopefully we see some of these issues fixed. Some little crafting issues where stuff is stuck at 590 maximum craft that could be done with addressing. Some issues with maybe some of the weapons being overtuned. So instead of maybe nerfing those, let's bring some of the other weapons up to the same level so that they can fight against each other and have, you know, different areas where they really excel. That would be awesome. You know, we're looking at the Blunderbuss and the Void Blade in the arenas are absolute destruction. So maybe bringing up some of the other weapons, maybe even if it's not in small scale combat, maybe if they excel more in mid or long range combat, that'd be cool. But bringing all the weapons up to that sort of level would be amazing so that everything has a viability and no one's build gets nerfed would be really cool. But going forward, I would love to see more build on these arenas. You know, yesterday's video we talked about they are going to add more maps. They are going to add 1v1s, 5v5s, as well as the 3v3s that they have. So this would all be really, really cool stuff with matchmaking thrown in there, private matches, and the future of the arenas looks great. So let's hope that that content comes to us as soon as it is stable and ready, and that as quickly as that can be, basically, because that is going to keep players more engaged. Leaderboards in the arenas, like I said, would be amazing, but also in general, leaderboards would be a great addition. I know we've seen them on the roadmap alongside the Great Sword, and as well as the new zone that we're expecting to see in autumn, and we have the summer event coming up soon, so I'm excited for those things. I'm going to keep you guys updated with all the news and such on those. But generally, overall, this update, pretty good. I've really enjoyed it. I found it a lot more fun. I found a lot more things to be doing in the game, particularly at the end game, which is what I'm at now, 625 year score, right at the maximum end game. So there is more stuff to do. There is an incentive to PvP, open world, in the instances for those rewards. I would just like to see this improved and built upon now to give us more multiple ways to go, maybe some more levels, maybe some more gear score increases in the near future to keep the end game engaging. But overall, update is decent. I know some players may differ with agreements in that, so let me know in the comments your thoughts and feelings, because, you know, I want to see this as a whole. But for me, I've found it good and I have enjoyed it. I would just like to see this continue to get better and better in the near future now for New World. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to drop a subscribe and a like down below. Both of those things hugely help to support me and my content, so I would really, really appreciate that. Other than that, I will catch you guys again very, very shortly on a brand new video. So thanks for your time, thanks for watching, take care, and peace.